Welcome to Module 10 of the Deadly Sins of the Six-Figure Product Launch. And that is the mistake or failure to prepare for the product launch miracle. We call it a product launch miracle because for a first-time product launcher to score $365,000 in sales is to all intents and purposes on JVZoo a miracle, because that hardly ever happens. Even the very few people that are able to do multiple six figures on the JVZoo are seasoned veterans. More than 95% of JVZoo participants have never done $300,000 for one launch in their entire career. And having a first-time launcher doing it with his very first launch, it is almost unheard of. That's why we called it the product launch miracle. And in a separate video, audio, and ebook product, I actually went through step by step of what we did do right, the step by step of things we did to be able to make this miracle a reality. This introductory part that we call the deadly sins or deadly mistakes of the six-figure product launch is an appetizer. And as you watch this series, it is important for you to get the complete course. All right, the complete course on everything you need to do to be able to make a six-figure launch with your very first try. But on this mistake, we'll still talk about the mistakes we made before we go to the main product itself. One of the more profound ones was a failure to provide for to plan for the miracle. Contrary to what a lot of people think, those who got miracles actually were ready for it. Miracles don't just happen, contrary to what a lot of people think. Even if you have to go look at the Bible, most of those who got miracles, most of those who received miracles, were people who were ready for it. I mean, when you look at blind Bartimaeus was ready for a miracle. He kept shouting, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." He kept shouting, he kept insisting, even when they told him to keep quiet. I'm willing to bet that on that road to Jerusalem, blind Bartimaeus was not the only blind beggar there, but he was the only one healed because he was the only one that kept shouting. He was ready for the miracle. Even when he came to Jesus, Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" To an ordinary person, that sounded like a stupid question. But Jesus had to ask that question because he needed to be sure that blind Bartimaeus really had enough faith, is ready or was ready to be healed. When you look at that woman with the issue of blood, she was ready for the miracle because the Bible says she has done everything that she can. She went everywhere, spent her money with doctors, trying to find solutions to her flowing blood. Finally, she heard about Jesus Christ. All right, and she told herself, "If I may but touch the hem of his wings, I will be healed." That's somebody who is ready to receive a miracle. Miracles don't just come. It is for those who are expectant, those who prepared for it. So that woman touched the hem of Jesus' clothes and got healed, and Jesus felt it. All right, and I can go on and give you examples upon examples in the Bible about those who got miracles. These were people who were ready for it. Those who weren't ready didn't get it. In Jesus' hometown, for instance, the Bible said Jesus could not do miracles there because the people were not ready for it. He said because they did not believe him, because they said nothing good can come out of a carpenter's son. So Jesus was unable to do miracles there because of their unbelief. They were not ready for what Jesus carried with him. That is why Jesus could not do much miracles in his hometown. Same way, it's not different in everyday life. Those who experience major breakthrough, because after all, that's what miracle is. A major breakthrough, a major unexpected breakthrough, a breakthrough that people perceive is an overachievement on your part. They were ready for it. So this thing that we just did, this product launch of Mobimatic App Builder, where for the very first time, for the very first launch, all right, we made over $360,000. It was because we were prepared for it, at least that part of it. But in our case, we could have made over $1 million because if we had prepared better. All right. So in our case, yes, we did do well because we prepared for enough. And you're going to get that when you take the full course on the product launch miracle, where we broke down every step of the way how we achieved that miracle. All right. But if we were prepared even more, we could have made $1 million. There are some areas where we were not prepared. We were prepared in getting the right product. We were prepared in selecting the right product. Managers, we were prepared in getting ready with competitions. We were prepared with so many areas that helped us to do this so-called impossible feat. But we could have gone even much higher if we had prepared for other areas of it, and those areas we were not prepared for. So our miracles was not as big as it could have been. We could have been talking $1 million. Yes, $365,000 is good, but $1 million is better. And we didn't get there because that part of the miracle we were not ready for. We had no site backups in place. So for about a day and a half, our complete site was down. Even on the day we got the product of the day, when we had the biggest traffic, we were not prepared. When everything went down, we had nothing to quickly switch to. And we loss of sales. With that, that's what I mean by not fully preparing for what I call a net-breaking miracle. If you are praying, if you want to have a net-breaking miracle, which is sales that is way beyond your expectations, then you got to think in advance. You got to be ready. We had no go-to technical consultant in place, which means we are not prepared for that part of the miracle. That anything could go wrong. What if it go wrong? Who's going to help us out? I should have had consultants in place, at least 2 or 3 of them, that are familiar with the Mobimatic type of software. And then our miracle could have been much huger than it was. All right? Again, we did not provide for stamina and strength. This may sound funny, but my doctors and everybody is telling me later that I broke into tears and basically lost my mind the 4th day of the launch because I was tired mentally and I was tired physically because I had not slept in 4 days. I did not plan for that. I should have planned out to force myself to sleep at least 3-4 hours a day. I should have gotten my stamina and strength up so that I can withstand whatever stress was going to come. I didn't have that. A lot of my help desk staff too, they all passed out in the process. We did not prepare well enough for what I call a net-breaking miracle. So that when the net broke, we didn't know what to do. And we were just busy scampering, trying to get the little fish that we got. We didn't have a pastor in place for emergency prayers. Yes, in this kind, if you want to have a 6-figure launch, you better have somebody who's ready to pray with you when everything goes to hell. It may sound funny. I'm a Christian. I always come at everything from that angle. I think in retrospect now, it was a bad idea for me not to have people in place who can join me in prayers, who can help me, who could encourage me when things... I was all alone in my basement other than my wife, who also had to go to work. I should have insisted that she takes those 4 days of work so that we can stay here together. So when things were getting tough, she would have been somebody that would have consoled me, would have at least let me see the positive side of it. She did her best while she was here. But the time I was breaking to tears, she was at work. She had to rush back to work. So I had no emergency person in place to hold my hand, to encourage me. And you have to be ready. If you want a net-breaking miracle where you want to come out for the first time and cross the 400,000, 500,000 barrier, all these things got to be ready. Okay? Because my story shows that it is possible for you to make $500,000 with your very first product launch. I could have made $1 million easy, seriously. Because when you had product of the day and your site is not up, you know how much you lost. And the average sale price of my product is $212. When you look at the whole funnel, it's over $500 per sale. So if we add all those traffic that JVZoo sent our way on the day they gave us that product of the day, that could very well have added maybe another $200,000 to our bottom line. All right? And when you look at the different places where things went wrong, so we could have been at $1 million, easy. But we were not prepared for that type of miracle. So basically that's it. The miracles don't just happen. Product launch miracle is one of those things that I'm still talking about on JVZoo with all those prizes that we won. That is a product that where we paid affiliates over $30,000. We had more than 7 affiliates that made over $20,000. We had over $10,000. We had maybe like 20 affiliates that had 5 figures. All right, or something like that. I can't remember the statistics again, but we had some huge trailblazing results. We got product of the day twice within 4 days. That is unprecedented. All right, we hit $100,000 our very first day. That also is very rare. So we really did indeed have a product launch miracle, but we could have had even a bigger miracle. I encourage you to get the full product so that you can see the step by step. What we have watched in this series on the product launch mistakes are the mistakes that we made. But it's not the mistakes that made us the $365,000. It is what we did right. Right? So you need to get the complete product, which is going to be available at productlaunchmiracle.com, I believe, or wherever it is. Find out. You are going to get notification about that, or go find it. Product Launch Miracle. Get the comprehensive product training. I mean, I'm talking about hours and hours of training from me on the exact things I did, including the templates, including the emails that we used, including everything I did every step of the way, the ones I did do right to arrive at where we arrived after 5 days, which is breaking records on JVZoo. I look forward to seeing you on the main product itself, Product Launch Miracle. I hope you enjoyed watching and studying these product launch mistakes so that you can at least avoid them in your own launch, even if you didn't get the comprehensive Product Launch Miracle training kit that is coming right after this. Thank you.